Welcome to Root Machines Week 5 updates. Root Machines is a Unity WebGL 2021.3 URP project, and it is a fast-paced arena FPS in which the emphasis is on active enemy or air design. 5 more weeks to go. That means the project is half done, and it is being developed in association with HomeTeam GameDev community. So let's move on. As for the additional changes, Lee Zhang added Roomabot with one variant. Roomabot, the first one is Explosion one. Basically, if a robot comes close and it explodes, that is the idea at least. And then there's also the melee saw Roomabot, which has two saws on the sides. And I added a second hand. There is the hand radar and added integrated lots of sound effects, but they are temporary and probably might be replaced if we get better sound effects. There's also the physical movement for player and enemies, which means that it will collide with stuff the way it should. That way how physics works, now it works. And I've also added enemy manager and wave system, which is work in progress. There's the strong and weak points of the enemies now. Basically that means if you hit the enemy, they get damaged depending on where the bullet or the projectile gets hit. Basically colliders with damage multipliers. And then there's the tweaks, bug fixes, and lots of state improvements. Well, let's just move on. It's game time and let's check out the game. Right, but before checking out the game, let me just show you the Roomba bot, right? And there is the Roomba bot explosion, and it's made by Lee, and there's the cute and amazing logo, Rutek. And there is also this guy, the one with the sauce, as you can tell. Pretty cool, I really like it. And yeah, it is looking great. Okay, let's move on to the game. Right, but before the game, let's actually let me show you the enemy spawner. Basically, it's just a bunch of values, right? I'm just setting out the keys that there are only 3 types of enemies for the time being: mother drone, drone, and float bot. And there's the limits as to how many they can be in a certain time. Like there's only one, there can only be one mother drone, there can only be 6 drones, there can only be 9 float bots. And then there are the commands that happens every few seconds depending on whatever time we set here, right? Actually, let's set it to 2 seconds. That's better. And -1 means infinite. It will keep checking on for infinite times. Otherwise, if there is, for example, 10, then this amount decreases as it iterates over there, right? And there's a pattern as to how it will spawn and where it will spawn. R means randomly from any of the A, B, C, D, L transforms. And when I say ACE, that means A, C, and E, the transforms where the enemy will spawn. Which enemy? The one that is right there, drone, right? And same goes here as well. Pretty basic, it works. And it will go on for some time. Then the other wave start. That's just the first wave, which I'm calling one mother, many drone, a few float, right? For the time being, of course, it's temporary. And there is the current wave where I can set 1, 2, 3, whatever, but of course we will go with 1, 0. And yeah, that is pretty much all. As for the transform points, let me just show you those as well. Gizmos full, and you can see the transform points, right? That's the complete circle from which the enemies will appear. Pretty basic and pretty cool. Let's just go on and show you the game. It's better that way. Now it has lots of sound, so I'm gonna make you listen those sounds. You gotta listen them, and they're really good, in my opinion. The background sound by Flame, I guess. The idea is to survive. Just survive for as much as you can. You don't have to fight them, but they will somehow attack you anyway. Well, I don't want that, to be honest, the empty space, but it is like that for the time being. And the background sound is really good. Let's actually, attack one of those. Why not? And now the enemies attack if I attack them. Okay. Whoa! This is what happens when you try to get into them. The best part is now the projectiles also hit each other, like the enemies, and they get damage from their own projectiles, which is cool. Oh shit. Oh yeah. Oh, I lost. So yeah, that's how it is, and I think it's pretty cool. The sound effects are adding a lot to it. Of course, there's still not that kind of intensity where you're just, you're just barely surviving. But other than that, I think it's pretty cool, and the sounds are really adding a lot to the game, really, and it's just amazing. And I'm just waiting for even better sound effects. Please contribute to the sound effects. I really want good sound effects. So yeah. Um, for the next week, we are going for one-wheeler bot art and code. As for the code, there's a pickup. No, there's no pickup for now. It's just a model that I made, and there's also the Roomba states and behavior and one-wheeler bot states behavior, of course, and lots of sounds. Please ask me on Slack as to what kind of sounds and the details about the sounds. If you're interested to contribute, then please ask. And as for the WebGL, well, I have tested it and it works absolutely fine. But for the playtesting, it was at first 3 playtesting sessions, but now I'm reducing it to 2 because I feel like I need to improve it a little further before the playtesting session. And the first playtesting session is going to happen at the end of this week, the one that's going to happen now. And I hope that you all will give me a lot of feedback. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for your contributions and for watching the updates. I hope you guys are doing great and I'm doing well. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Goodbye.